Hey guys, Garrett here from Alligator Arms, and welcome to the channel, and thanks for swinging by today. Today, before we get into the review of the Vortex Magnifier mount for the PS90, I just want to go into a little bit of background about myself, as well as some hopeful goals for the channel. So if that's not something that interests you and you just want to get straight into the review of the product, I'm going to put a timestamp up here in the corner. Feel free to fast forward to that point and we'll get straight into the review for you. A little bit of background about myself. I am not a former military or former law enforcement. I'm just an avid gun enthusiast. Been in firearms, been in the hobby for about the past 10 years, and ever since that first trigger squeeze, it's something that I've fallen in love with. It's grown, my collection has grown rapidly over the past couple of years. And with that, once you get a firearm, there's a bunch of different things that you can add to it, whether it be optics, whether it be slings, whether it be flashlights, you name it. So some of the goals of this channel, I want to bring you some reviews on some of those products, talk about the safety of firearms, because there's this stigma about firearms. They're big and bad, and they're going to hurt you. That's true if you don't treat them with care, treat them with respect, and treat them safely. So I just want to go into, first and foremost, the safety of firearms. Talked about some of the products that are available for different weapon systems, talk about different weapon systems, as well as get into some training as we get going. So without further ado, let's get into the review of this magnifier mount from Design Machine. I had the opportunity to purchase a PS90, I'd say about a year and a half ago, and it was one of those nostalgia guns for me. I grew up in the Stargate SG-1 era, so it always had like a place in my heart. So whenever I first got the gun, I knew kind of what I wanted to do with it. For one, I turned it into an SBR, and then I had a couple rough ideas what I wanted to do as far as optics were concerned. But I believe it was the Gen 3 version of the PS90 is what I ended up getting, and it came with the supplied Picatinny rail in the upper receiver. And I found out what a lot of people find out, and that is that with that and adding an optic to the top of it, it doesn't allow you to have a good cheek weld on the gun. Plus it makes the optics sit so high above the bore, and it just became very, very awkward. So in my searching for different ways to be able to mount an optic and get it a little bit more customized to me, I stumbled across Design Machine, and Design Machine makes a bunch of different products for the PS90, including optics mounts, including magnifier mounts, Picatinny rails, slings, sling adapters, flashlight mounts, you name it. They've got a lot of different things there. So what I ended up doing is I ended up purchasing a optic mount for the Trigicon MRO for the PS90, and what it does is it actually sits down into the upper receiver for the PS90, so it drops it a little bit lower into the upper receiver to allow you to have a better cheek weld on the gun, and it actually sits the basic eye level with you to where it feels a little bit more natural, feels a little bit more comfortable. But while I was on the website, they also offered a magnifier mount, Vortex VMT3X. Magnifier mount, which was the older style Vortex magnifier. They had a proprietary mount that you could install to the side of the PS90, and it allowed you to go to 3 times magnification, and I thought that was a pretty cool thing to add to the gun. However, they weren't making it anymore, so whenever I reached out to them after purchasing the mount for the MRO, they let me know that they were in the process of making a mount for the Micro 3X. So they were gracious enough to send me one to try it out, do a video on it, and let them know some of the feedback on it. So I thank them for sending this out to me today. So hopefully I can put this together. You guys can kind of see the way that it installs, which is very, very easy. As well as how it functions, how it operates, and kind of go from there. So let's get it in a little bit closer, and we'll get this thing installed. All right, so whenever you get the magnifier and magnifier mount from Design Machine, they actually put everything together for you. So you have the mount right here, and then the magnifier is already attached to a Picatinny rail that they have already put on to mount. It also comes with a Picatinny rail to attach to the side of the upper receiver for the P90, and that is what the mount then attaches to PS90 and allows it to do what it does. So literally, it's as simple as putting 2 screws into the Picatinny rail and then attaching this to the Picatinny rail. Now, I know I talked about safety before, and I did check this before I went on camera, but I just want to let you guys know that this is unloaded. As you can see, there's no bullet in the chamber. So we are set and ready to go. Anytime that you go to work on firearms, please make sure that it is completely unloaded and pointed in a safe direction. So all you need in order to install this is you need a 3/32 hex bit or Allen wrench in order to put these screws in. The screws come with a little washer to attach it to the rail as well. So just put it in. I have a Wheeler fat wrench, firearms wrench. It's a torque wrench, and I have it set to 15 inch-pounds. So I just tighten it down. All right, so these screws, what they do is they actually attach to the mount from Design Machine, if you guys can see that in there. The screws screw into the mount, which holds the mount in place inside the upper receiver. Didn't show you exactly how that one is installed, but it's very, very simple. You just put a couple screws into the bottom of whatever optic it is that you decide that you want to go with, and they have a bunch of different mounts designed for a number of different optics. I prefer the MRO, but they make them for the Vortex Viper, they make them for the RMR, they make them for the Aimpoint T1, I believe. But again, I decided to go with the MRO, but it's very, very simple. Just put the screws on the bottom of the MRO, drop this into the receiver, and then screw in the screws on both sides of the gun, and it's set and ready to go. Then you're ready to sight it in. So once you have the Picatinny rail put in, all you do is you just take the mount. I put it in the second slot. And then what you need is you need a Torx T10 bit, and the Design Machine, they recommend that you torque it down to 15 inch-pounds. And there you go. It is set and ready to go in the matter of 2 minutes. So with this, now it gives you the ability to have a flip out of the way 3x magnification on top of your normal 1x red dot sight. A little bit about this magnifier is it is designed to work with tubular style red dots. It will not work with your open dots such as like the RMR. Just because the magnification will pick up on the hood of the sight. So they do recommend that you use it with a tubular style red dot such as the MRO or the T1. They do have other optics that it will work with, but just reach out to them if you have any sort of questions or concerns as to exactly how it will work with those particular optics. So, but literally go 3x, 1x with a simple flip to the side. So as you guys can see, easy flip to the side mount on it. Quick and easy. All it takes is just a little bit of force just to flip it over. The magnifier mount is Cerakoted in black. It's a very, very smooth finish, very well machined, no sharp edges, no sharp corners. It is actually a very, very cool feature, a very cool accessory to add to your PS90 if this is something that interests you. But this is kind of the side profile of it. So let's get out there and take it to the range, see how it operates. Hey guys, just got back from the range, and I got to say that this was a treat to throw onto the PS90. Great little accessory to kind of pair with your tubular style red dot. A few little caveats to this. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can probably see whenever I was doing the initial install, there is a little bit of a gap in between. The reason I set it up that way is it works a little bit better with my particular eye relief. There are a bunch of different slots on there, and you can kind of move it along to work better with your specific eye relief. Everybody's a little bit different. And it also has an adjustment knob on the magnifier itself, so that way you can make some adjustments to it as well. Whenever you're going to zero in, if you want to call it that, your magnifier, you're not actually adjusting the point of impact with the red dot. All you're doing is you're just trying to get the red dot to be in the center of your magnifier. So whenever you're making the adjustments on this, a couple little things to take into consideration. Don't think that it's going to change your point of impact, but because of the way that this mount is designed, the mount actually sits on this flat surface as opposed to this flat surface. So whenever you're looking at the magnifier, it shows up and down and left and right markings on the magnifier. So because of the way that it sits, just think that those are backwards whenever you're making your right and left adjustments. That's actually going to be up and down, and then your up and down adjustments are actually going to be your left and right, just because of the orientation of how it sits on the weapon system. So again, definitely enjoyed taking it out to the range. It was definitely a treat. Sorry I couldn't get too much video out there, a few little technical difficulties, but definitely a great option for anybody looking to add a little bit more precision, a little bit more reach out and touch the target to the 5.7 by 28 weapons system, the P90. If there's anything that I didn't go over, or any questions, concerns, anything like that you may have about how exactly this operates, by all means post those comments in the bottom, and I'll do my best to try to answer those for you as quickly as possible. So, but again, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, see you on the range.
Pew, 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 pew.